Hello, I'm going to be talking about Glorious again as a company. I know I talk about this ad nauseum, and I've already explained all my QC issues. Basically, if you haven't seen all the other videos of me complaining about Glorious, I had a problem with my Model O Wireless and other Glorious mice. For example, a squeaky scroll wheel, a squeaky right click, and then I returned it, and then I got a very mushy right mouse button instead of a squeaky right mouse button instead. So yeah, I've not had very good experiences with Pulsar or not Pulsar. What am I talking about? Glorious, and also the customer service, as I stated in my customer service video, was the worst that I've experienced. I had to go through all these hoops, record a video with the serial number and all that shit, just to return the mouse, which is way too much. But I did return it, which is good, but still, man, way too much just to return the mouse. But anyways, again, gonna be talking about Glorious as a company now, and I found a comment that is pretty good. It compared Glorious to OnePlus. If you don't know what OnePlus was, basically they were a very good budget Android phone brand about 2 years ago that again released pretty good budget Android phones that had pretty good specs for the price that they were at. However, nowadays they don't release that many budget phones, and now they're very average in terms of the phone space. They're just releasing any average Android flagship phones like you see today. So at that point, I would probably just get a Samsung phone or just an iPhone or whatever, any other Android phone at that point. Because again, they aren't doing anything to really stand out that much, and they're not that unique anymore. And again, their prices aren't that unique anymore as well. They're just flagship prices now, about $1,000 or $900, which is the standard for flagship phones nowadays. So again, average. And this is also kind of the same as Glorious. They made a wired mouse that was okay about 2 years ago, the Model D and the Model O wired version, and they also released the Model O wireless and the Model D wireless for $80, which were again pretty okay prices for what you're getting. And nowadays, that's not the case. They're releasing $100 mice, which are decently expensive, but not super expensive, but not like $150 like the Razer Viper version 2, but still decently expensive, like more expensive than Aria XD7, which is $70, but still just a, again, decently expensive price. But now it's just pretty average. The weight is also not as impressive as it was about 2 years ago. Now it's 55 grams, which at that point probably just get a Pulsar mouse because they're probably going to be better built. Although this is just speculation because we don't know anything about these mouse. We don't know anything about these mice. We've really just seen renders and just photos of it, but we haven't seen like any really specific specs. We've just seen pretty decently vague specs and group buying. I really hate group buying so much. Basically, what group buying is, you have a limited amount of time to get the mouse, about a month, and then once that period is up, you cannot get the mouse at all. You have to wait 4 months also for the mouse to be delivered, if it does at all, because we all know Glorious's track record with just not being the best. And also, again, 4 months for a mouse is way too much, in my opinion. Just waiting 4 months for a mouse is way too much. And also, again, you're not guaranteed on a lot of things. You're not guaranteed on how good the build quality is going to be. They just, again, they're super vague about a lot of the stuff on the website. And again, it's just really stupid. And they also recently released a numpad for $130. I'm pretty sure it's an add-on to the GMK Pro keyboards, but $130 for a numpad, like the thing you can find on full-size keyboards? No. No, don't get that at all. No, just get a Razer numpad, or just don't get a numpad, or just get like a add-on numpad for like mountain keyboards if you really need a numpad, or if you really need like a detachable numpad. Do not get a numpad for $130, no matter how good, how well built, or how good the switches may be. $130 for a numpad is way too much. That is as much as a pretty decent or good gaming keyboard, like the Apex Pro or the Fnatic Streak or any of those keyboards. It's as much as that. And it's just a numpad, keep in mind. It's literally just numbers and like an arrow keys, I think. So don't get that at all. Just just in general, just Glorious has just become another mouse company. They don't do a lot to stand out nowadays. They aren't releasing super budget mice like they used to. They're now $100, which is pretty much the standard for mice nowadays, for wireless mice at least nowadays. And again, they aren't doing anything to really stand out. I mean, they have cool, fun colors, but that's still not much to stand out. You can just spray paint a mouse if you really need, or you can just coat, or you can just get like a skin or something if you really want a different shade of color for your mouse, which I wouldn't really recommend because, you know, it doesn't really matter a whole lot, but you can get it if you want to. But again, that's not a whole lot to stand out, and they aren't standing out at all, in my opinion. And again, the group buy stuff and also the stuff where they couldn't let people cancel the orders once they released a new mouse. Yeah, that's right. I heard that a lot of people could not cancel their previous order because about a week later after the first like group buy mouse came out, a new one came out and that obviously fit some people's shape that fits some people's hands better and the shape was just better for them, but they already spent the money on the previous mouse. So guess what? They couldn't cancel that order. They might be able to now, but from what I heard about a month ago, they couldn't cancel the order and they just were just stuck there, just wasted that just and they just wasted about $100 on a mouse that is not going to be as good as the other mouse that came out a week later without any warning. Like, come on, that's pretty scummy to do. Not even warn anybody a week prior to releasing a new mouse. Like, come on. But again, they've just become another OnePlus. And that's it. See you guys later.